Hi, I'm Miss Haley with the Huntsville-Madison County Public Library, and today I'm going to show you how to fold an origami dinosaur. And he looks like this guy here. It's kind of a T-Rex sort of looking dinosaur, and mine just likes to do the splits. I have yet to figure out how to make mine stand up. I don't think they're really supposed to, but a cute little dinosaur that we're going to be making today. This is our Summer Reading Week 4 kit. Our theme for Week 4 is dragons, and the origami dragon was super duper hard, you guys, so we opted instead for the origami dinosaur, which is also super cool and just a little bit easier to do. But once you've mastered the origami dinosaur, the steps for an origami dragon are not too far off from what this one is. So if you can fold this, then you're halfway there to being able to fold a dragon if you want to look up how to do that. So when you open your Week 4 kit, this is our middles kit for ages 3rd to 5th grade. I would definitely also recommend this kit for older kids, tweens and teens. Origami is really good for everyone. I don't recommend this for anybody younger than 3rd grade. It is pretty hard, and yeah, just don't go there. So in your kit, you will have two things. You will have a set of origami dinosaur instructions that will have numerous warnings about please watching this video here. You will also have a 9x9 sheet of paper. Yours will probably be a solid color rather than a pattern, but I'm using a scrapbook paper that I have on hand rather than using up my origami paper because I want to be able to give that to you guys. So to start out with, you'll need your instructions. And they are front and back, so there are 4 pages of instructions with this. This is really why we recommend you watch this video. You will also in your kit have a link to this video, just a little shortened link that you can type in that will take you directly there. But if not, we have our YouTube page right up on the top of these directions for you guys. So to start out with, if you have a color side versus a non-color side, go ahead and flip it over, and you are going to fold your paper 4 different ways. We're going to fold it diagonally in both directions, so we're going to do this one first. And I like to match up my edge here so that, I'll turn it so you guys can see it, my edge here so that it's flush. I don't want any of that white showing before I do my fold, just to make sure that our fold is really good here. And then we're going to crease really firmly. You can even use your fingernail if you want on these. And then we're going to unfold it, and we're going to fold it the other direction. So we're going to fold it this way and do the same thing. Line up the edge. Make sure it's really well lined up. Having some problems with that today. There we go. Crease, and then unfold. So that you should have now an X in your paper, but now we are going to fold horizontal or vertically first. So fold it over that way, line up, and crease. And then we're going to fold it horizontally, so we're going to bring this down. And crease, and then we're going to unfold it. So you should now have that shape, like a little asterisk in there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn it so that it's in a diamond, so that the point is facing you. So I'm right over here, so the point is facing me, so that would be facing you. You're going to take this corner, and you're going to bring them down to this one. So we're going to take this corner, bring it down there, and then we're going to take this corner and bring it down there, so we get that. And you might have to gently force those folds to happen a little bit, but you should wind up with this. And then we're going to take these 2 corners here. They're not really corners, but that's what I'm going to call them, these spots where the fold marks, and we're going to push them down. So we're going to stick our hand in there and just kind of push it down. We're flattening it out a little bit. They're going to come to these two corners here. We're just going to flatten it down like that, and we'll crease. So you should wind up with a smaller square that's kind of folded in on itself like this. So now what you're going to do is you're going to fold this. So there's a flap here. You're going to fold this corner of the flap to the center line. So there's a center fold line right here. And we're going to fold this edge so that it's along that fold line. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So just going to line that edge up like that. Make sure it's lined up all the way, and then crease. You're going to do the same thing with this side. So the top flap, you don't want to do the whole thing. There should be still a piece down. So the top flap, you're going to fold in towards that center. The second one's a little easier because you have a piece of paper that you're folding towards. Watch this tip here. The tip right there likes to get a little wonky just because it's a really tight fold right there. It's very small. So once you've got it to this point, we're going to flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, fold this flap to that center point and crease. And then fold this flap to the center point. You might have to maneuver that point down here a little bit on that one especially. The more we fold it down there, the harder that is. It's not difficult, it's just you gotta watch it. So now you should have this shape. It's like a kite. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this top triangle down, so just along this line. And we're not gonna keep it folded. This is mostly to make a crease right along there so that it'll be easier to do the next step after this. So, and then flip it over and fold that the other direction too. And then just unfold that. And that is not going to be folded at all really past this, but that's just to make this next fold I'm about to show you easier. So for this next fold, you're going to unfold whichever side you wound up on. We're going to do this to both sides, so it doesn't much matter. And you have in here this little pocket. So if you lift up this flap, you should be able to see the inside of your paper. And you are going to push it up. And as you're pushing it up, you're going to start tucking in these two folds. You can see how there's these little triangles right here. We want those to tuck in like that. It might be easier to fold your bottom ones first if you fold those in like that, and then just straighten these out very gently along their fold lines. You're just folding them in the opposite direction of how we had them, pretty much like that, and then lay it down flat. So you have a really big diamond, like a really long diamond shape. So then you're going to flip it over. We're going to do the same thing to this side. So again, you should have this little triangle flap. That's okay. That's supposed to be there. So go ahead and unfold these and lift up your flap and fold it up and start tucking. Go ahead and tuck. You might have to maneuver a bit, but go ahead and fold in your bottom two triangles first, because that'll make it a little bit easier on you. Fold them up to that center line. You can crease it right there a little bit. That'll help. And then just straighten this one out. You can see how my point is trying to be all wonky. We don't want that. So just get in there with your fingers and gently fold that the way we want it to be folded. There we go. The trick there is to be super gentle. It should never feel like you're forcing it to happen. You're just gently kind of nudging it until it does what you want it to do. If you force it, you could wind up ripping your paper or folding it in a way you don't want it folded. So at this point, we are actually on the second page of our directions. That was the top line of those directions if you are following along with those. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to actually flip down this one that we just folded up so that it's down. We're not unfolding it. We're keeping it the way it is. We're just folding it down. That way we can see this little triangle again. And then we are going to flip it over. And I want you to turn it so that it's facing you like that, so that it is this way to you rather than lengthwise. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take this side here where there's only one flap. So you can tell it's the right side because there's not another flap under it. You get this side, you'll know because they look like that. So you're going to take this side and you're going to fold so that this edge meets this center line. So there is a fold line right here running along the center, and we're going to fold this edge to meet it. So that's going to look like that. But we're not going to crease all the way along here. So when you crease this part right here, you're going to stop when you get to that center point. So if this right here is a line that comes up, we're going to stop right there. So just follow that line with your finger and then crease from there down. So that's follow this line up, crease it, and down. So we're not going to fold that part. We're going to leave that part unfolded. So unfold that, and we're going to do the same thing going down now. So that one I took up, now we're going to go down. So I want this edge of my half diamond to meet this middle crease mark there. So that will look like that. And again, we're going to use this line, follow it up, crease, and down to the point, to that corner, and we're going to leave this part unfolded. So we're only creasing right there and unfolded. So now when you look at it, what you should have is that shape right there, like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your two fingers to kind of push it in. You can set it down and do this too with two hands. You might, again, have to kind of force it in, but you're going to get your fingers on either side and kind of push that down like that so that you have this part sticking up straight. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to fold, crease that part. It should be pretty easy. It's already folded along that spot. We're just reminding it that we want it to fold that way because it was unfolded for a bit. So you should have this now. So it's like a kite with a triangle sticking up. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to fold your kite in half. So if you pick it up, you're just going to fold this kite in half like this. And you might have to see mine's kind of being wonky there. I'm just going to gently encourage that with my fingers. So when you're folded in half, you should have this shape right here. And this is going to be our dinosaur's body. And then this is going to be his neck and his head. So by the time you're at this stage, you should be done with your full page of instructions. So you're on your third page, which is the second sheet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this point over. And we're folding this edge. We're not folding it all the way down. This is one of those things you kind of just have to see to be able to do. But we're going to fold it down so that it is horizontal. It's parallel to this line. So this forms one line. We want the line of his head, his jawline, to be parallel to it. So we're just going to fold it down like that. I'll hold that up so you guys can see it. So we took his little point and we're folding it down like that. And once you get it there, go ahead and crease that really well. And now you're going to flip your dinosaur over. You're going to unfold that, and you're going to fold it the other direction on this other side. So it's the exact same fold. We're just doing it on the other side now, like that. And then you're going to unfold it, and this is the tricky part that you really need to see to be able to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick our thumb in here, and we're going to push the point that way, while we're pushing this center fold mark in. So I'm going to put my thumb in there, and I'm going to put my fingertip here. I'm going to push that in like that. You got to be careful not to let it rip. Okay? We're basically flipping his little head around. And then you just fold along that line again. It should, once you get it to this point, it should want to fold right here pretty easy. So that's his head, but he's a little pointy. And if you look at this guy, he's got a nice blunt head. So we're going to basically do the exact same thing, but with his nose, and it's a slightly different angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to bend his nose this way, and you're going to fold it just so that this line stays right along the line of his jaw. So like that. And just crease that really well. And then you're going to fold it, flip him over, fold it the same way in the other direction. Again, just making sure that the lines are lined up right there. So like that. And now you're going to unfold, and you're going to open them up a little bit. And the same thing, we're just tucking this under. Show you from the front. Tucking it under, up in there, and then we're folding. That way he has a nice blunt head, kind of like a T-Rex. They're not very pointy. They have pointy teeth, but their snout is not very pointy. So now we are on, let's see, we're on step 10. So we're going to fold this point in a little bit. It's the exact same thing we just did, just again, a different angle, but we're not tucking it all the way in. So on these two, we really tucked it all the way in. On this one, we want to leave it out a little bit. If you look, I'll show you on my one that's already folded. If you look how it's not tucked all the way in, it's poking out a little bit right there. That's his little T-Rex arm, his little short arm. So to do this, you just stick your thumb in here, and you're going to push that point down like that. And you're just going to push it down, but you're not going to fold it all the way in. And it might take some doing. I'm really bad at this fold, actually, you guys. My T-Rex never has much of an arm because I'm not good at this one. It's so tiny. So tiny. There we go. His tiny little arm. You just kind of have to pinch it until it's in place. You might have more poking out than me. That's awesome if you do. I'm not good at getting little to poke out. But you just want to poke a little bit out. If you folded it all the way in, just unfold it, untuck it a little bit, and just recrease. Just pull it out a little bit. It's not the end of the world if you do that. So now what you're going to do, you have 3 flaps right here. So the middle one is going to be your tail, so we're just going to leave him alone. So we're going to take this top one, and we're going to fold it down at sort of an angle. So this line is not exactly parallel. You could fold it parallel. I wonder if he would stand up better. Let's try it. We're going to fold it down. You can either fold it directly parallel to this line here made by his head, or you can fold it a little bit less. That is up to you. I don't think it actually matters. You're going to crease that really, really good. And then you're going to flip him over, and you're going to do the same thing for the other flap. And remember, you're leaving the middle flap alone. Whoops, his head's tucked away. And the second fold is actually easier because you just match your tip, pull your tip so that it's matched up against there, and then just fold. And that way you'll have identical legs. So the second fold's actually easier than the first one on that. So now you should have this shape. He's almost a dinosaur. He's like a ballet point dinosaur right now. So we need to get him some feet. And at this point you should be on your last set of directions. This is step 12. Step 12 has 2 parts. So to start with, we're going to fold this under, so not on top, that would be outside. We're going to fold on the inside that way. And you want it kind of, actually you definitely want it parallel to this point. So here's his flat back. You want this to be parallel to it. So the same angle. And just fold that in. So once again, that was taking this point, folding it in and under, and creasing right there. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And for that, I like to lay it down. And I like to just match up my corner, same way we did with the leg. Just match my corner up with that and then crease. That way they're the same. Oops, except I did it the wrong way. See, that was me doing it on the outside, so wrong. You gotta do it on the inside. Correct. You know, I would be willing to bet the pictures in my directions show it the wrong way too. But I fixed them eventually, so I figured it out. Dinosaur is complicated, you guys. So you have two little folds going in, and then you're just gonna fold this back around. You're not unfolding it, so I'm gonna show you from the back side. So here's your little guy. You're just literally folding it back that way on both sides so that he has little feet that are facing forward, because feet that face backwards means something's wrong with your leg. So, you know, don't go there. And now you have a super awesome dinosaur who is too top heavy. Oh, he's kind of standing up. He's going to do the split soon. But he's a little top heavy. He's going to fall over soon. But yeah, you have a dinosaur. And I hope you really like it. I challenge you guys to figure out a way to make him stand up. I've tried a couple different folds to get him to stand up, and it doesn't work very well. So I challenge you guys to figure that one out for me. But I hope you had fun folding this super cute T-Rex dinosaur, and I hope it wasn't too frustrating. Sometimes origami goes the other way. Thank you guys for joining me.